So I did a playthrough of the forest with gravity so broken I had to share. I spent a lot of time exploring the ins and outs of the island. I hope to survive long enough to tell you about it, and I think you'll really enjoy what I'm about to show you. Hit that like button if you want to see more like this. Let's check it out. So after a few tries, I finally landed in the forest. Whenever I started on the ocean or the snow, it seemed I floated up too far high and died every time. Guess maybe the tree saved me on this one. Already I can tell this is going to be an interesting playthrough. The first two things I see is Calvin flying off into the sky and a deer running off to save its life flying through the air. Throughout my entire playthrough, I was just mesmerized every single time I opened a case. But one of the most interesting things I had to look out for is that anytime I opened my inventory, I would seem to fly up like the rest of these crates. I guess you can say I'm the kind of person that likes to see the chips fly. One thing I learned here is that there is a preset audio for when the trees collapse and break into logs, and that must play automatically. Because they didn't snap at the right time, but I was still able to grab these logs from midair using my super jump. And even throwing these logs looked like projectiles. I think I'm gonna try that again soon. Now it wasn't too hard to hunt the animals, but you gotta be careful because the slightest bump's just gonna kick them off into the atmosphere. This is very strange. Continuing on with the story, I did go and find me the nearest hang glider, and I was shocked to learn that the physics weren't really affected by anything with the gravity. Except for when you drop it, of course. Usually when I do a playthrough, I always go for the flashlight and the modern axe area first, and I knew this guy here was going to have some crazy bounce to him. I just had to see what it was going to look like. I thought for sure he was going to fly in the air, but he just kind of floated there, and I got to play with this dude for a little bit. I tried to ride him like a surfboard, but he didn't really support my weight. With the introduction to the tactical soldiers with the flares, I kind of wish they had some physics involved with them, but I guess this is the best I'm gonna get. See you later. Bye. I made it over to the Modern Axe camp, the first crate I opened up to launch the little light bulb watch satellite. What good's a satellite if we don't send a computer into space? After coming to this camp so many times, I think it's safe to say that this butterfly is scripted to land on your axe. Try not to shake it off and just continue opening crates for now. And apparently I've been blessed with a kick that the NFL would be proud of. There's no getting that radio back. As I continued to collect these items, I was just in awe at the things floating and flying around me. Couldn't even be mad. It did take a little bit of time to play some stone bowling with the bushes, and then stumbled upon this lake that just had a creepy crate flying above it. I experimented a little bit more trying to catch some fish with these stones, but I didn't have too much luck. I did go into the rebreather cave. You gotta watch when you see some shoes hanging on the lines like that. It usually means they're selling something out here that you don't want to get your hands on. But these caves didn't disappoint. Bumping skulls, bumping skeletons. Even skeletons that got their groove on. It was perfect. Look at him go, shake them feet. He's got the moves. It was cool seeing things like the crosses float around, and I gotta say, any future game that they make in this series, it's gotta be a must that when you bust open doors like this, or even crates, that the items just fly into the sky. I mean, that added so much fear factor to this cave when I was playing it. Look at that. How can you not agree? Since I did have moon jump, I decided I was just gonna fall through this cave here, bust open some more doors. Come on now, make that a thing. It just works. Can't explain it. Trying to get the rebreather over here, I did run into this shark, and I threw some stones at it to try and keep it in the water. I eventually took it down, and then some weird stuff started happening. It's like its fin just got pinned to the bottom of the cave. It was really weird, but I live for moments like this. I can say swimming with broken gravity is the greatest. Half the time you're not even in the water. Remembering that my inventory makes me float in the world means that I probably should mess with it right here by the water, just in case I gotta fall into the water. It doesn't take long before I'm in the air, and that made a big challenge to this whole gameplay. Even lighting fires caused an issue. And like I mentioned earlier, you gotta harvest what you can as soon as you can, because nothing, when I say nothing, its physics seems to stay on the ground. At some points it's not even fair. But other times, it worked in my advantage, just like stone bowling for fish. Now, of course, I'm going to play with some of these things out here in the forest. Why would I not? Just seeing things do what they do, it never gets old. I think it'd be pretty cool if this kind of effect took place after the cube triggered. But maybe that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments. I was really curious to see what happens to everybody's favorite sluggy. And of course, it didn't disappoint. We're gonna run right through this goo. Now the whole time I've been hearing enemies, but I couldn't really see them before. Finally discovered that they were floating at the ceiling the whole time, and maybe in the other cave they fell through the ceiling. Can you do that? Can you fall through a ceiling upwards? I don't know. But it kind of made it easier to take them out. Just like the poor husbands of those construction worker wives, trapped by mutants to never be seen again. Apparently my character is getting a little axe happy right there. Now I must say the most creepiest thing I have discovered in this gameplay were the babies. 0G babies, as I like to call them, zero gravity babies here. They seem to slide and bounce around at free will. I mean, I don't have anything nice to say about this at all. I was deeply disturbed, freaked out, wanted to leave, but I was compelled to see what they do. The more they tried to attack you, the lower they got to the ground. I just don't think I wanted to stick around long enough. I've already got other things like puffies and fingers to worry about. Finally made my way to the shotgun, and digging was awesome. Watching my mud clumps float up to the sky was pretty funny. And like most things I've broken so far, I just admired what happened. I'm still amazed by things flying up to the sky. I don't think that ever wears off. Now that I have my shotgun, it was time to explore some bunkers. I definitely need to print me a sled. While these puppies are hanging out and trying to do a workout, I slipped right past them and checked out the pool room. Most of the chairs and fingers were just floating, which is a pretty unfair fight. Make that money rain upwards. Overall, the bunkers were pretty disappointing. Puffies don't do much. I did counter Timmy at some point, and I was laughing in the background at the drill that's just pressed up against the ductwork with that blue barrel.
It's not safe here. You're running out of time. It's gonna happen again. You have to leave.
Cannibal camps are kind of a letdown because everything just floats away when you get close to it. But I figured if they're gonna have some kind of cannibal rapture, I might as well send them their homes too. I'll take whatever they let me get my hands on. Alright, a night V. I wonder how this is gonna work. Oh crap. Looks like I'm part of the Rapture too now. I don't think we're gonna survive this. We're gonna have to restart. So I made my way to the food bunker. Totally normal. Don't mind those trash bags of these construction workers bent at crazy angles. Hey, look, it's the Roomba. Gonna be there forever cleaning that goo up. Maybe I can fix these guys. Oh, I'm just making it worse. Oh no, more ceiling babies. Absolute nightmares. Maybe I can trap them in a bucket. Kept dying a lot in this bunker and had to restart. But the rest of the props didn't disappoint. Things either seemed to float to the very bottom of the surface, or they would stick and cling to the ceilings. Either way, very, very funny stuff. So I did eventually find the Puffins, and this went very interesting given that a lot of the stuff kept floating to the ceiling. And they were no different. I tried to stick them with some C4 and realized that the C4 now had an arc that bent upwards instead of downwards. Virginia's mother was a crazy competitor in this mode, being able to climb the ceilings, fly down and float at any height, just completely tear me a new one. It also appeared that anytime I got hit, I would start floating as well. Mr. Puffin wasn't a big deal himself, and he was rather easy to take out. Did try to harvest some armor off of them, and it actually glitched me out into the ceiling. But I'm not really here to glitch things out. We're gonna go ahead and clean up the room a little bit with our upward flying C4s and try to make the best trick shots we can. Now I can't explain why there's a random rock in this bunker, but I will do my best to get that candy bar. Down the line some, we did run into Timmy again. I was disappointed that this cutscene didn't take any effect. Knowing how the explosives worked, I wanted to try the spears out, and it was dead on accurate. The only problem I had is I could only skin the deer because the rest of the body just flew away. I later pressed my luck one more time with the stone bowling, and I did manage to take out a bird. But I think it was by sheer luck. Making my way back inside of a bunker, I definitely wasn't disappointed. At least these crates were obtainable because they were sticking to the ceiling. And I love that the trash bags were floating as well as Virginia's chair. I made my way into the Hell Cave, but Timmy ran through the ceiling right away, and it'd be a while before I seen him again. I did see the demons, but the demons were clung to the ceiling, so I just took advantage of trying to moon jump any opportunity I got. Finally had a big opening place where my jumps meant something, so I took advantage of that. Out of nowhere, Timmy just busted out through the ceiling and got stuck. Hopefully he'll be able to keep up because I'm going to keep moving forward. So I worked my way to the demon boss. Noticed in the background Timmy was making his way this way, but he was very, very confused once he got close. I guess he was trying to interact with the demons floating on the ceilings and he just didn't know what to do. He did eventually get his stuff together, triggered the demon boss to come out. Naturally, I tried to burn this thing, and when I got hit, I flew into the ceiling, and so did he when he got hit. I really hoped to kill him, but he glitched through the ceiling and vanished. And that caused Timmy to work his way towards the cube. I tried to stock up on a few supplies before running in, and the only major difference we had here was that a rainbow decided to pop up in the middle of the space city. Interesting. Now, I really wish I can say I had an interesting boss fight, but just like the demon boss, this boss took off into the air as well, and once he hit a certain height, the final cutscene triggered, but this time it didn't disappoint. I'm gonna just let this one play out. Look at all those guts flying up into the sky. I really wanted to stay and see what other crazy adventures were gonna happen, but I didn't want to pass up the opportunity to see what was gonna happen in the rest of this cutscene. So here it is.
It wants you to stay. Don't listen to it. You're getting close to being able to leave now.
I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you think you want to see more stuff like this, just kind of let me know in the comments. Also, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you want to support me by joining a membership, you can do that, or you can check out the products in the store. Until next time, have a great day. Later.